Welcome to Media Beat, MediaBistro.com's new web video series. I'm Danya Blaze, senior editor of MediaBistro.com, and I'm joined today by Lance Ulanoff of PC Magazine. Lance, welcome.
Nice to be here.
We were just talking in the elevator on the way up to the studio about how there's hardly anything going on in the digital space today. What are we going to talk about, Lance?
You know what? I was talking to somebody else this morning about how it seems oddly busy. Like it's almost overwhelming because there's so many different things. There's a lot of shifts happening right now, and trying to track what's going to come out, when it's going to come out, what's going to dominate, what's going to sort of arrive and take off, and what's going to arrive and fizzle is actually pretty hard.
Well, in keeping in line with that, I heard that you were one of the lucky few people who actually got to touch and see the Apple iPad.
That's true. In fact, there's a video to prove it. I posted a little YouTube video of myself. I went to California to the event where Steve Jobs introduced the iPad, and then we all marched across and got a look at this actual device. It is an exciting product. You definitely thought it was sexy and cool, but it's a little bit hard to figure out if you're really going to want this thing because it's middleware. It sits between your smartphone and your laptop. Steve Jobs, when he talked about it, really targeted the netbook market. He said, netbooks are good for nothing. This is good for everything. That's not entirely true.
What do you think the iPad will mean specifically for the publishing world? I mean, that's what publishers
Well, it's riding in on a white horse. It's got the, it's got the lens. It's ready to go. It's going to save it, or it's not. The fact of the matter is that it's a really cool device, and I know that the publishing industry has latched onto it as its savior, but this is not going to save it. This is going to bleed out into the marketplace relatively slowly. It won't even have the same pace as the iPod Touch or the iPhone. Definitely not. And the problems that the publishing industry have really go far beyond what platform you're going to read on. I think it's another venue for reading stuff that you like.
And I also heard that you think women will be probably the biggest market for the iPad. Why is that?
Women are extremely practical with their technology. Guys often have tech because it's just cool. They want something because it's cool. They can't even tell you why they want it. If you ask a woman why she wants something, she starts to describe the things that she'll do with it, and she starts to plan. And this iPad is very much a sort of, in some ways, a utilitarian device. It's going to sit there. It's going to be propped up in your kitchen maybe. It's got, they show the calendar app. It's got this scheduling tool right there. They show this suite of applications, including a presentation application, which would be great if you're sitting with your kids on the couch and want to quickly whip out a presentation, because believe me, that's something that kids have to do in school now, even at grade school age. So all of these things seem to be for a woman who has to sort of juggle a lot, juggle home life, work life, is maybe working in the home, and needs something that's always available that gives her, one, the ability to get stuff done, and two, to sometimes just unplug and sit back and sit on the couch with it very easily and enjoy some content, browse the web. So I don't think that the iPad, by the way, is going to be out on the road all the time like your iPhone.
Okay. Now, but in line with that, when the iPad was introduced, women were like, who was involved with the naming of this?
I know. I actually think it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. There are many things called a pad. Many things. Many words. It's part of the word. And it's sort of this fixation, and I think part of it is there was a previous joke about it. It's not a serious discussion. Yeah, you could think about, say, oh, did they? Of course they thought about it. I'm sure it came up, and they probably said, yeah, there'll be some people who will think that, but come on, there are other things called pad, and we think this is a good name. They had other options, sure. They could have called it an iSlate, but I think maybe that might have seemed a little bit too stiff. Maybe they didn't think that was right for people. But when people get this product in their hands, when they start to use it, that issue will fade away very, very quickly.